Diablo against, I would say Barats. Barats at the EXP lane will be strong. At this moment, AMT will be lacking of the mid mage.
Mid mage, so it does seem like what they have here. Great burst from the side of RSG. They got a simple amount of lockdowns from the side of Esmeralda as well as Kufra. One of the caveats that you should be looking out for is to catching off the backlines because RSG's got some nice artillery.
Eudora seems fine, or as well as Loy. They can balance out the early game so much, as well as these two heroes can actually buy the Durance that can, destroy that Esmeralda right there from RSG.
Yeah, Eudora kind of seems to work unless they would want to have someone that can be more sticky. Oh, Lunox.
Oh, Lunox. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's not the worst because of how Lunox with the Dark Chaos can actually kill the Esmeralda as well. Although I would say Beatrix and Intrusion is going to, juke them away, but we shall see how these Barats play. I believe these Barats will be the key factor of how AMT should play. And for RSG, let's see how Lucy jumps with his Kufra.
Yeah, I'm not a very big fan of the Lunox. Personally, I'm not someone who likes a Lunox in the mid lane. I'm more of someone who sees Lunox on the full lane. Yeah, so it's really either dependent. When it comes to pre-level 4, you are really much kind of like a sitting duck. And you can't do anything without power of the Order Brilliance nor Darkening, and thus you gotta have to stick to your mid lane as much as possible. You won't be encouraging that early game fights, which your team kinda has the possibility of doing with that Jawhead being unlocked for Almighty. So I do think that, they're kind of lacking a little bit in the early roaming phase.
Yeah, so we have come to the Land of Dawn. So RSG against AMT. So as we can see, Lucy as well as 505 is at the mid lane trying to contest something with AMT, but nothing much is going to handle here. And we will talk a little bit on the side lane where Beatrix will be fighting alongside with Alice as well as Esmeralda will be fighting alongside with Rat.
And just as per normal, the junglers will be heading off to their own jungle, trying to bring down the purple buff all by their own, but unfortunately, Ryzen getting himself out with a critical of health and even got himself a flame shot by 505, and that's just going to be forcing him right back home, and thus the middle lane will be open and also going to be slowing down the progress of AMT's Lunox. And this small little advantage from the side of RLG is going to encourage them to roam a little bit more, or perhaps just stay themselves within of mid lane just to get a nice little bully on the side of Lunox. Because now Lunox is still at level 2, and I'm pretty sure that from the side of RSG, yes, Kagura is already at level 3. So they can either make full use of this small little advantage by roaming a little bit more, or just try to bully Lunox.
I guess both teams are trying to ignore the turtle. They're going to have a small pick off at the bottom lane just to buff up a little bit on Jason. Oh, ejector coming wrong through, and
it doesn't seem like we've got Alpha X that was able to get away, unfortunately. Sky, he's able to get away, but let's be honest, that is going to be Alice that's being taken out, and that is not good for him. Because his skills over to the later stages of the game, being taken down so early, is a rough matter. But let's be honest, Alice can't do much in the early game. If you die, let's reset, never mind, get our head back into the game.
Right, so for RGSG, they will be heading along to the turtle. It will not be a contested turtle as since Alice have already given up the first blood. So for those who have commented who got the first blood on Alice, you got it right.
And well, at this moment in time, LY4, he is at level 4. Bush is also at level 4. So when it comes to Retribution, it's pretty much A-okay. It just unleashes her ultimate with the submachine gun. I'm pretty sure that anyone will melt from that, but that will be the dream fight, which is tough to achieve, but still kinda possible.
Yep, so we'll be back at the game. Wow, RSG actually managed to get out that first turtle. And we can take a look at the gold graph. Nah, just a 200 gold difference, so nothing big for both teams. But at this time, Alice is really trying to farm here, and Jason seems to be zoning him pretty well.
Yeah, the amount of damage that this Beatrix can do on the side of Alpha V9 is a little bit too much. And the amount of dominance from the side of RSG, they're constantly just rotating down to the bottom lane. Yisushin can come in anytime, Kagura can come in anytime, and so will the Kufra. So they don't really have a lot of vision when it comes to the bottom side of the map. They don't have rush vision, Sky is unable to move his way around the map as often as possible because it's a 1 versus 2 when it comes to roaming potential. So unfortunately, AMT has got their backs leaning against the wall, and it's going to be tough for them to even do anything against the members of RSG. You can pretty much see Sky. I don't know why he decided to go straight for it. Alpha V9, he can't really initiate this early into the straight into the game as he goes straight in for the Blood Oath, trying to be as much as sustainable, but his HP just melted down almost instantaneously. But at least he managed to find himself a quick getaway, while Sky is the one that sacrificed himself for the greater good.
At that moment, while they were fighting at the bottom lane, Esmeralda did actually clear up the mid lane as well. That gives this Esmeralda a lot of breathing space. Not only that engagers at the bottom lane is so good that they actually get the better kills off from RGSG. Both the core managed to get a kill. Beatrix on 2-0 right now. On to the Joy as well as that. At least it also gives Esmeralda some breathing space at the top lane while farming that top creep lane as well as the mid creep wave.
At this moment in time, things are starting to calm down a little bit.
Ooh.
But I spoke a little bit too early. With Longsi jumping right onto Sky as he connects onto it, and 505 as well as Jason made quick work out of Sky. So this is kind of what I'm talking about, right? The roaming potential from the side of RSG is inevitably higher because of Longsi constantly being inside of the brushes. He's revealing as much as possible, opening up the map. Together with 505, he can get away pretty darn easily with the Seimei Umbrella, or rather Rashu Umbrella Flea, and just like that, it's pretty darn simple. Take a look at that.
Ooh.
But
that was shady.
I don't know. This is kind of like the caster's jinx, right? When I talk about, oh yeah, Kagura can run away, and then boom, a toss, boom. The players just like to prove me wrong right as the second I talked about them. Why?
I'm not sure, but RSG managed to get up that second total already. But not to mention, Baras managed to get that top tier 1 without any help. I would like to say that maybe the Jawhead really requires to help the Lunox a little bit so that the Kagura don't roam around the map so easily. And we here gonna have a little poke and ejector.
And LLC finds himself at a low amount of health. We do have the thunder, not really a thunder, but we do have the call from the above from the side of LY4 trying to snipe AMT out and just kind of change the positioning, zone them out just by a little bit. No one is dead from the side of AMT though, but Lolsey finds himself down in the ground with no trades whatsoever. RSG a little bit greedy on their part, but they tried their best, almost bring one person down, but almost is just not enough.
Seems like this game will be a little bit sort of like even. They'll be opening up by 700 gold from RGSG, but if you take a look at AMT, they have a very fat Lunox right there with 300. Oh, duck here!
LY4 slipping away just with a sliver of health, but the rest of the members from the side of AMT, they are all huddled together. This is a great opportunity for the side of 505 to melt everyone down. Sky gets himself away, but unfortunately a quick little flicker from the side of Jason allows him to get a simple kill, a mega kill onto his head, and even a double onto LY4.
There is a very good trade coming alongside for RSG actually trading away Lucy for 3 players of AMT. Not to mention that bottom tier 1 tower and the mid tier 1 tower, which is a very crucial tower for AMT.
7 minutes into the game, 6-4 with only 2 kill lead from the side of RSG. But when we are looking at gold lead, we are looking at a nice little 2,000, close to 3,000 gold lead. And to be fairly honest, it's going to extend even more with this addition of the turtle. This is their second turtle, by the way. And thus AMT, they kind of know that they can't contest for it. They will want to go straight out for the later stages of the game, just so that they play the sustainability game. They want to outlast against RSG. But it's not going to be that simple because RSG's lineup, they are pretty bursty as well. So for RSG, it's like they want to deal as much damage on the side of AMT. That's how they're going to win. But for AMT, they want to survive as long as possible. And that's how they're going to win, to buy some time in order for Bush to deal the damage, for Ryzen to deal the damage, and, you know, a little bit of sleeper damage from the side of Alpha as well.
Yeah, so as we can see from the quick hydration, that's a pretty nice... Ooh, Kufra with that.
We didn't see that?
We didn't see that.
But thanks to the quick hydration from the side of H2O, we managed to see that double Tyrant's Rage that managed to land.
At this stage, I would like to mention a little bit on these Barats. They have not been coming out yet to the engagers. They have been forcing the fight at the early side, while Brass have not been, using that flicker, have not been using that Daytona's welcome. That should be the crucial on how AMT is going to come back to the game.
Yeah, so mostly from the side of AMT, they're playing the turtling strat, right? They just want to stay within their lane, and that is very apparent from the side of Lunox in the middle lane, losing out the first tier turret. Top lane, Barat sticking up there, also losing the first tier turret. Alice, bottom lane, sticking in the lane, also loses out the first tier turret. So what's going on?
I guess AMT is putting up a little bit of too much respect for RSG. Even the ejector is just throwing them away instead of throwing to their side. Maybe there's a possibility of how they should use the ejector to catch someone off before that Dark Chaos came out, and come along with that pull-out on the Barrage with the Daytona's welcome could actually win them the game, but unfortunately, they are not using it.
Yeah, AMT, they're not as aggressive as I wanted them to, right? They have Sky, the Jawhead, great when it comes to initiation, great when it comes to repositioning the enemies. And then Ryzen can just come in from behind and boom, boom, pow, power over the Chaos Darkening, and perhaps even Bush, the Lycan Pounce, lands on someone and just rips everyone to shreds with that sharp, sharp claw that he has just digging into the enemy's skin. But that did not happen. In the meantime, Umbrella Lady does the work.
As we can see, they have the good position of the Lord coming alongside for RSG. Even the Esmeralda is nearer to the Lord side, but we are going to see some force fight here coming along for AMT. No. Oh.
Completely uncontested as Lolzy finds himself in the midst of the members from the side of AMT. He's going to go straight down, but it's okay because we've got Diablo just going to go straight in with the falling thumb on the side of Sky. He tries to get himself away. Diablo is quick on the chase, hot on his heels, but he's just going to be denying that and just stopping midway through because he's getting himself right into the base. AMT, they are playing so safe. They know that, yes, we've got Lolzy, we've got the tank, we don't have to fight. And they immediately get themselves away. Solely because of the fact that Alpha is dead as well. So it's kind of like a 1-for-1 trade, which it's kind of equal to a certain extent. But Alpha needs to skill to late stages game, while Lolzy does.
AMT though, oh, there will be a fight coming along. Oh, Jason got caught up.
Immediately getting demolished down. Bush is going to be the next one in the crosshairs on the side of RSG. 1-for-1 trade. They're continuously just going to be pushing right down in the bottom lane together with the march of the Lord. 4 versus 3. And if you don't count the Lord, it's kind of like 4v3. But count the Lord, it's 4v4. AMT got a pretty decent wave clear right onto their lineup. They are using the Lord down in the bottom lane to buy some time to allow Diablo to push in onto the top lane. Not quite of the biggest fight that we were expecting. RSG is working out onto the objectives one step at a time. Solely because of the turtling strats that AMT is looking out for. They don't want to be too complacent and they don't want to be overly aggressive onto a turtle that just never gets out of its shell.
Right, but that Lord really served the purpose. They have taken up all the outer inhib turrets. So, not too shabby, although that was a very good buy time coming alongside from Jawhead. Oh!
We got a Winston Truncheon that's going to be picked up on the side of Alpha of V9. Maybe he can go in. Maybe it's a good time, but a little bit too late with the Blood Ode. Bush and Ryzen could probably do a little bit of something else in over there, but unfortunately, they realizes the fact that Sky is dead, Q Dicey is dead, they don't want to overextend themselves at that moment in time.
Oh no!
What can they do? Diablo jumps right in, the falling Salmon did not connect though. Lolzy's Tyrant's Revenge did not connect too. But the main thing is that they just want to zone the members from the side of AMT away while they secure the inhibitor turrets up in the top lane. So they are not going for kills. They just want a swift, decisive victory, a clear-cut victory, a very convenient and, well, very understandable victory instead of, yeah, I'm gonna be stomping all over your grounds kind of thing.
Yeah, as we can see from Jason, he's using that sniper mode. So, we got a chance to flame them, but hey, take a look at this moment. AMT, they're trying to find the position of RSGHG, although it will be a bit hard because of how fat RSGHG is with the 8k goal lead coming alongside from RSG.
8k goal lead is phenomenal. And AMT kind of knows that, they don't want to over push themselves. They don't want to get themselves too far ahead, whereby they are just going to be singled out by the members of RSG. What you want to do, or rather what AMT wants to do, is to huddle together and try to work as a team. With Alpha V9 getting the Winter Truncheon, he can be the one that initiates first, just to just to make
Oh, Sky.
doesn't seem like things are gonna be working their way. There is the ultimate from the side of LY4. It reveals where the members from the side of AMT is, just so that they have some understanding how they should be pushing out. You know, RSG, they are giving quite a lot of respect to Almighty as well.
Will there be a fight coming alongside for Diablo? Getting poked a little bit here using that Star Moon, but no, Lunong's managed to finish him off. But hey, I was mentioning about AMT trying to get some pick up, but they are, I think, putting up a little bit too much respect for RSG SG at this moment.
It's kind of like respect being thrown all over the place. Like, I don't want to touch you. You don't want to touch me. We'll just contest for the Lord and then see what happens from then on.
Yeah.
Now, the Lord for both sides. Dicey, he did manage to find 3 members inside of the brush, and they did manage to conquer the brushes at the northern side of the middle lane. So they know that they can kind of flush RSG out as much as possible, but the main point is that Longzi needs to find the nice little landing onto the side of AMT's backlines, and once he finds himself that is the green light for the members of RSG.
Unfortunately, AMT did not manage to find a recycle here, and Kufra, they don't ask welcome.
They don't care about going for the backline, they just really want to get a kill on the side of Dicey. He goes for the General's welcome and just a quick little flicker to get himself away. In the meantime, we're also going to be looking at Sky, immediately going to be taken down. Bush takes one now, Jason takes one down. A little bit of a avenging frag from both sides. Down to the
Roger!
Bush gets himself a nice little kill and triple kill.
Oh my
right
god!
On the side of RSG. Jason, LY4 and Longzi being taken down. It's kind of like a 3-4-3 trade, but Bush taking all of the kills is going to be so much more phenomenal for him.
Take a look at the goal lead. It's just left 3k goal differences for AMT, and oh my god, that wolf right there just eat that 2 marksmen alive.
Nom 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 nom. And together with the claws that is attached onto his paws, he's just gonna be doing whatever he can to just rip everyone into shreds, I suppose. But Diablo, a little bit bold, to be fairly honest. He finds himself absolutely flipped up in the air, but his aim is still doing well. The Lord is still going to be taken down by the side of Bush, so unfortunately Diablo missed out his mission, but now his grand mission is to stay alive. But it doesn't seem like things are going to be working his way. A flame shot from the side of 505 tries to snipe out the side of Q Dicey, but they get away with just a sliver of health, and they will be good to come for the next few seconds, because the Lord will eventually be marching straight down in middle lane, and AMT, they will be able to get a nice push without the presence of the Esmeralda.
If AMT is able to get a recycle off by killing maybe that Kufra or Beatrice at this stage, I tell you, at least the inhib of RSG will be down at this stage. What RSG really needs to do is to gather around, wait for Diablo to spawn before coming out of the inhib turret. Otherwise, it will be in disadvantage fight. It's a 4v5 at this stage.
Almighty, they're rotating all the way to the top side. They want to engage against RSG. They want to defend the Lord. They want to get the second tier turret in the middle, and Q Dicey is just staggering the creep in the middle so that it doesn't fly too far as well. So this is going to be a nice little trifecta. Bottom lane is a little bit ignored because they don't really have that real estate to kind of travel all around the map. But now that RSG is a little bit too focused onto the Lord at the top lane, that is going to allow them to bring down the second tier turret in the middle, as well as the rotation down to the bottom.
This fight is not gonna matter because AMT is just gonna take all the turrets, get those resources back, and we can see that the goalie has been matched again from AMT's side, but there won't be any contest coming along because that lot right there is just to get those goalie.
I think that the name of the game right now is all mostly on Alpha V9. If he's able to just separate the fight into a frontliner and the backliner when it comes to LY4 as well as Jason, I think that Alpha V9 would have done his job. So I'll be looking quite a lot on Alpha V9 when he initiates and how he splits the fight into two.
AMT right now requires some reset due to the low HP coming alongside for Barat. But I have to say, RSG have very good hero lineup when it comes to defending. They have the Kagura with the Yin Yang overturn, they have the 2 marksmen for defending. It is very hard for AMT to actually push it in without the next Luminous Lock.
Yeah, the creep clear potential is relatively high for RSG. It's kind of tough. Nibiru's passion being one of the things that we the kind of passion that we don't want to see on our end. You know, just firing down. A really nice jump connected from the side of Lonsy onto Sky, but unfortunately, a little bit of stealth ought to get himself away. Pretty done easily. So AMT knows that they kind of have to concede with the half of the map over to the side of RSG and thus losing their dominance down onto their own jungle. Back to a game of chess.
Yep, it's just who catches who at this stage or who gets that lot first. But we have to take a look at how Bertrix is playing so aggressive at the bottom lane. And Alice is trying to defend the top lane. So, you know, they're just playing the defense lane for the AMT side. They're not going to go for any contest, even though Joy can get an ejector here once a while. But there won't be any follow-up coming along.
A defensive spike from the side of AMT is definitely going to help them. We got Anti-Cuirass that's being picked up by Sky, as well as the Immortality on the side of QDicey. So we can expect AMT to play a little bit more aggressive on their end because they know that they have the possibility to play in front of RSG and literally right in their face. So close that it can just kiss each other.
At this stage, RSG have that advantage at this moment because they do have that, you know, lot position. Esmeralda has already rotated over while Roger is still clearing the wave. We shall see how this lot is going to be delayed from AMT's side with the Barrage Jawhead. But it's not easy.
They really don't have to force a fight here, you can see. Like Lonsy, he was in range of the QDicey, but he definitely don't want to be normed in by the Barrage. No matter what RSG do, they want to focus on their positioning. Wind chant on the Jason.
They are just going to play the micro games. The Esmer is going to keep forcing someone from AMT side to rotate to the bottom lane to clear the wave and force that lot fight to be a 5v4. And in that case, RSG will have the advantage.
Is it really? Okay. A small little connect from the side of Lonsy. Tank onto tank. Not too big of a deal, but we digress. Back onto Esmeralda, right? So Esmeralda has been constantly pushing down to the bottom lane. They're forcing the Roger down to the bottom lane, but when it comes to movement, it doesn't seem like Esmeralda will be able to catch back into the fight as quickly as Roger. Because let's be honest, Roger does have quite some nice movement speed, as well as a little bit of pounce here and there as he transforms. I think that he can move a little bit faster than Esmeralda, no?
Esmeralda run faster too, with the first skill.
Start of stance, okay, yeah. A little bit here and there, you know. So I guess they are neck and neck when it comes to moving.
Yep. But of course, Roger will move slightly faster, though we shall see that how are they going to execute this. Because AMT, they're bleeding off. Their HP is getting lower because of how RSG team lineup can actually poke them off.
Yeah, so Almighty, I think the one way that they can get themselves out of this predicament is just constantly just poke them every now and then. Poke until they can finally take a fight. I'm not too sure whether they really want to go for a fight here. We do have Sky going for the toss on the side of Lonsy. They're focusing all in on the side of Lonsy. Is that really a wise choice? Where's Alpha V9? He's not going in with the Blood Ode just yet. He tosses the Blood Ode. He's not going to be teleporting the Blood Ode just yet. They are all just going to be holding down the 50 line as QDicey finds himself all the way down to a sliver of health. RSG did a pretty good job when it comes to poking QDicey all the way. He was so busy norming and chowing down on the Lonsy, he didn't even realize that his HP is slowly bringing down. And this is what RSG is doing, right? They want to out-damage Almighty. While Almighty, they want to out-sustain.
They are ending the Lord. They're trying to finish the Lord from
Sky though.
Oh!
Not a good thing. Sky is just going to be popping off the Immortality. He finds himself dead. Jason is himself dead as well. It's 2% down for RSG. They're continuously going right in. While Sky flickers himself away with just a sliver of health. QDicey.
AMT got the Lord.
Immortality as well. It doesn't seem like things are working out well for RSG as well. Is this the point in time where the prediction from the side of KTP may actually come true? A 2-1 for RSG? Or would it be a 2-1 for Almighty? Because this is not looking good for RSG.
Yeah, they are coming down to the inhibitors of tier 3 and
I don't know about this, man. A full lockdown to start of Diablo. The middle lane inhibitor turret going down. RSG with 4 men onto the cooldown time.
You know what?
This is the point in time where AMT, they don't even have to care about
this is a GG.
Slowly marches in from top lane. Everyone else.
Recall!
Now that was the game, ladies and gentlemen. What a game. Almighty.
Standing up, shaking their sweats away. They are putting so much respect. You know, they dropped some confidence after the game 1. They may not go for that, you know, the aggressiveness anymore. They may just want to farm out their own. That really may put you know, the AMT's Ling a few bit more better opportunity and Ling.
So my understanding as to why I think that Ling is tough, at least this is from my understanding, it kind of seems as though like they don't really have a very good map control in their kit. Yes, they have a grok, you can kind of move around and all that kind of stuff. You can deal some damage, but you don't particularly have some simple lockdown on the opponent's side unless you place the Ruby up in the top lane to kind of defend the purple buff, and that is pretty much all, right? You wouldn't be expecting a lot of roaming potential for the side of Almighty. So the mid stages of the game and the early stages of the game, Ling may have some tough and difficulty when it comes to taking themselves the purple buff, because RSG, they have the potential to go for vertical jungling. Look at their kit, right? They have a Jawhead, they have a Roger, they have Barca. They even have great mobility all around the board from the Cho as well as Paquito. They are a hyper mobility team.
But you have to know that they don't really have one hero to hold the lane and the side lane. One side Paquito, the other side Cho. Who's gonna, you know,
who's
suffer?
gonna stay there and be the suicide lane?
Yeah, at this stage. But without further ado, welcome to the lane of Dawn. You know, AMT versus RSG. Who do you think have the better draft so far?
Honestly, I kind of find Almighty's lineup a little bit iffy, right? At first, the iffiness was contributed to that Ruby pick because I really don't want to see a tank Ruby. But thankfully, it is not a tank Ruby no more. And there is a Ling for the side of Almighty. There is pros and cons, got good, got bad, right? Because Ling, pretty much the RSG's memo is that I don't want to see assassin. And Almighty took that memo and says, we want an assassin. Because you don't want to see assassins, we're going to do the exact opposite of it. Right. And they picked up the Ling. Since the Lancelot has been taken out, Ling is probably the next better idea for their part. But that pretty much means that they need to focus a lot on getting the map control.
Right. As we can see, RSG did not go for the aggressive Jawhead combo like I mentioned just now. This really put Ling a slightly better spot.
Jason though, he's the one that went aggressive on Ling instead.
I still think it's alright since Ling managed to get that red buff. A better execution of how you be aggressive in the jungle role is that you waste a lot of time for that jungle to not get a buff. Oh, will there be an interception coming alongside?
I'm not too sure, but Bush HP has dropped all the way to a critical amount of health. Finch Points gets himself rotating all around the purple buff's obstacle, and he's gonna be safe and sound for now. But a lot of time has been wasted onto his hands. Longcy jumps right in, was hoping that he'll be able to do a small little thing, but a quick little flicker ought to get himself out of there.
That's it. There's a very good engage coming alongside for RSG, wasting a lot of time from Ling. That is a 700 gold lead, not to mention Turtle is spawning at 10 seconds. Most likely, you know...
RSG is definitely going to take this Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, this Turtle.
RSG is taking that Turtle, plus AMT is not going to fight anymore.
Bush is at level 2.
What?
Bush is at level 2.
Dying.
Now he's level 3. He's not going to be doing anything for the first 6 minutes or so. This may, very well may be, quite a snowball from the side of RSG in the early stages of the game. Look at them hyper mobility comp. They're constantly moving around the place. They're abandoning their lane just so that they can focus a little bit more onto the side of Almighty. Because Almighty themselves, they knew that one of their caveat is that they need the Ling with the purple buff. They will do whatever it takes in order for Ling to number 1, not die, and number 2, get the purple buff. And thus pulling more people in is so important. But baby cake, this. Okay, I talked about hypermobility, but I did not think that they are that mobile.
Oh, there's a Daytona's welcome coming alongside for Barat, but that will be it. But I have to mention about that Ling getting picked off by Baby Cakes. That really is a good swap of Diablo and Baby Cakes, though I would say, you know, that Will of the Dragon used by that show against that Ling really kills that Ling and put Ling at a very tough spot. Now it's 3 minutes in, they are down about 1k, and look at Ling at Ling's level.
I mean, Bush was level 3 when he was killed by Cho. So the blades wasn't able to do much, or rather he couldn't even use it. So it's really unfortunate for the side of AMT. They are on a massive disadvantage in this early stages of the game. 2k disadvantage.
Right, they are just playing around that purple buff for RSG. Giving away that purple buff shows that, you know, AMT have some breathing space. But once you take away that purple buff for RSG, they are not going to breathe anymore.
It doesn't seem like Sky will be able to get himself away alive, as Bush is probably going to be the next one in line. The Tempest of Blades ought to get himself right out of that, while Alpha V9 finds himself at a sliver of health. RSG understood that they don't have to overextend themselves in order to get a couple of kills on Almighty, because they already have the lead. All they got to do is steal a couple of buffs from the side of Almighty and play the longer game and increase the lead as much as possible in order to snowball out of control.
Seems like this first pick for us is not working out at the moment. We really need to see some Deduna's welcome, followed up by the Kagura as well as the Grok. But, you know guys, AMT have a very defensive lineup, right? With that Ruby, with that Barat, they're really okay to give that early lead. But is Link ever going to come back from all the farms? He is now at level 5, low net worth. I'm not sure whether Grok is able to get that mass proc.
Yo, Bush level is equivalent to RSG Pro.
Oh my god. At this stage, they really need to babysit this Link a little bit. But without further ado, let's go into the game.
The more I see AMT's lineup, the more I feel that it doesn't gel together very well.
I would say it gels a little bit, but it rotates very slow. How Paquito and Cho, they are able to clear the wave faster than Ruby and Barat, and then give them the momentum of roaming towards the mid lane to intercept that Link's jungle. That really puts them at a tight spot at this stage. Without a very strong early game mage for AMT, it is hard for them to get all these contests right, unless Ruby is gonna do something here.
Their mid-game damage output may not be the best. And I think that that's where RSG will want to exert their dominance. And just like that, RSG trampled into the opponent's base. Or not base, but opponent's territory. Even unleashed the Feathered Airstrike in their face. Gets a kill down onto Ruby with no contest whatsoever. It's a fast game for the side of RSG. They probably want to end this at mid-stage, because I think that at mid-stages of the game, Ryzen is probably the only one with a nice damage output.
As long as RSG continues to deny that orange and purple buff from AMT side, there isn't a late game coming from AMT. Unless, even though Link can farm, you know, at the side lane a little bit, but it's not gonna do much without that purple buff, without that orange buff.
Oh yeah, 5 minutes has been over. Right, so Link can farm the side lane now.
Yeah. Link can farm the side lane, but look at AMT, they don't really have a catching potential hero. Their Daytona's welcome requires, you know, a little bit of stuns from AMT as well. That Ruby, if you really want to get a very good Iron Offender coming alongside, it's not going to be easy, you know, their RSG.
So technically right now, we are expecting that the Barat as well as the Link technically can switch roles.
Right.
They can technically switch roles now, because at least Barat in their own jungle, he has a higher survivability rate as compared to the Link.
Ooh.
And Link, you really should not get yourself into the lane no more. Fortunately, I was about to bite my own tongue over there.
That timing of Shumpo from BB Kicks didn't stun really well. Otherwise, when the Tempest of Blade lands down and you use that Shumpo right away, it would have negated that knockup from that Tempest of Blade, and you are able to punch that Link to death.
Would have been great, but unfortunately a little bit of a timing issue, but not something that we should gloss over too much, because RSG, they are on a pretty nice lead. Sky has decided to be extremely bold and come in between of the RSG. They managed to single out Lolsey right under the turret's nose and getting themselves the first kill in this game.
Congratulations for AMT for that first kill. That really gives them a bit of breathing space. Look at Link, there isn't any contest anymore, and a little bit of pick poke here and there at the top lane with the Fasa opening up their Feather Airstrike. But you know what? Not too shabby.
They're gonna have to give some respect over to the side of the Fasa. Whenever the Feathered Airstrike gets initiated, they're gonna have to get the hell away. There's no way you want to contest for that, especially since they are so under-leveled and underpowered when it comes to the economy, right?
Yeah.
1,000 gold lead.
Ooh, look at Jason playing so aggressively onto the Kagura, ensuring to get that mid-tier 1 turret.
505, no respect, yeah.
No respect. Yeah, but you know what? He's just gonna recall away. No big deal from RSG, and they managed to get that tier 1 turret from mid.
That is a second Detona's welcome that did not connect onto Jason. You know, it kind of feels like foreign territory. looking at Jason playing as a side lane fighter?
It's alright. He has been a fighter to me. But I would say that Barrage first pick though, with the Detona's welcome, he has not been landing at all.
Not much value at this moment in time. Hopefully by the later stages of the game, hopefully by around 12 minutes, that is where we enter into the mid stages of the game, and that is where Almighty will find a little bit more problem. Hopefully that the Barrage will be able to help them to hold things out a little bit longer. Push with the Tempest of Blades. He is now behind his own team lines. 505 gets himself away with just a sliver of health, and the rest of the team from the side of RSG have decided to push themselves back down south into the bottom lane. Hopefully just cutting the waves just by a little bit and trying to bring down the first tier turret, because that is going to be the last turret left in order for them to free roam entirely into the opponent's jungle with ease.
Alright, let's take a look at the item build. Look at Ling, he's coming back into the gold graph with 4.5k, although you see Roger 6.8k. So that's about 2.4k difference, but you know what? At least he had some gold. I would say the goal difference of 6k will be actually the Roger as well as the Cho holding to a 6.7k.
We've got a Sea Halberd onto the side of Baby Kicks as well as the Dominance Eyes over to the side of Lolsey. So they do know and expect that Alpha would be one of a big problem once they reach over to the mid stages of the game. They prioritize degen quite a bit. So I suppose that in the mid stages of the game, it's kind of like Q Dicey, Alpha V9, and Ryzen's game, while Bush will be split pushing while he farms.
Yep, and that's a 10-minute lot coming alongside for RSG with that Roger from LY4. How I would say that this lot gonna be played out would be most likely, Detona's welcome eating up. Nope, you'll be denied by the unstoppable force from that Jawhead.
Yeah, so far the Detona's welcome has not been welcoming anyone just yet into the nice belly of Q Dicey. I'm pretty sure that he feels a little bit bummed out from that. But right now, they're gonna have to play the safe game. Turtle up as much as possible. I'm not too sure whether they should even defend the second tier turrets here, because they are so underfarmed, they are so under-leveled. Trying to defend things is probably gonna go pretty darn badly. As you can pretty much see, Bush is currently under threat for the side of Lolsey. He did try to go for a counter-attack and dealt a decent amount of damage on the side of Lolsey, whereby his HP has dropped to half. RSG taking down the second tier turret in the top lane and the bottom lane. The middle lane is going to be the next one within of their sights, and then they will go for a reset.
It's gonna go.
Honestly, they don't have to force a fight within of their base. But AMT, they are rather confident and they are rather bold enough to try to clear the creep waves here in the mid as much as possible. But RSG, they are just focusing down onto the side of Q Dicey right now. A really nice little toss, which even have 505. They try to go for the ultimate, but Bush comes in from behind, tries to snipe 505 out. He manages to do that with a small little toss from the side of Lolsey. He brings it. Amazing amount of damage from the side of Ryzen. Brought 2% down and with a triple even. This is just absolutely dominating from the side of RSG. It's kind of like a neck and neck, side to side kind of play from the side of AMT. Just like that, it is a 4 men down for AMT and 2 men down from RSG.
And due to that 4 men down, they are able to get the top lane of AMT from RGSG's side. What the yin-yang overturn we can see from that Kagura right there. At that engage at the last minute where Ling uses that Tempest of Blade to deny all the line compounds from LY4, it really puts RSG at a weird spot. But although that weird spot is being addressed with that line compound from Roger, a little bit balanced out a little bit. You know, AMT have a little bit of breathing space, but the goal lead is still getting bigger.
And now RSG holding out the orange buff as long as they can. They don't really need to go for the fight. But Lolsey, never mind, the reinforcements are coming in real soon. Lolsey with an immediate unstoppable little toss right on top of Alpha. He's gonna go straight down. Ryzen is gonna be the next one up down as well. 1-for-1 trade, 2-for-1 trade as LY4 gets himself yet another kill to his name. A Malefic Roar is going to be added into his arsenal. More penetration onto his side that is going to help him rip Sky and Dicey into shreds a lot easier. Look at him. He's just right into the opponent's base. He's just waiting for the time to shred down his enemies. Baby Cakes with a Jikundo. A little bit of a knockup for the start. Baby Cakes is very ambiguous from both sides. But there we go. Like a pounce on the Sky. What's coming up next? We even kill Dicey. Then another welcome. But it's on to one. That doesn't really quite matter because we do have the unstoppable force. Oh my god. If we got Ryzen coming straight in. It did manage to do a decent amount of damage right on the top of the side of RSG with Baby Cakes as well as Longsley. Drop down to the critical amount of health. But LY4, he's not stopping. He gets himself one. Radies up to clear the core. And that is RSG. Getting themselves 1-1.
Yeah, good job coming alongside from RSG. Managed to fight that pretty well with that pull and back with the Roger, with that Lycan Pounce reset as well as okay. I guess that Soon pick is just to deny that Harley.
Yeah.
Because of how Harley's daily magic into poker cards can actually kills almost all marksmen.
Yep.
But because you have a Soon and you have doppelgangers, you can be very mobile about it.
And you can kind of like use your own illusions to kind of body block against a poker trick.
So that deadly magic, it's not going to work out so easily. It's more for the side lanes compared for that Wukong.
And you can kind of use your doppelganger ultimate to dispel that final last tick when it comes to deadly magic as well.
But you need very crucial timing. And can LY4 do it?
I mean, it's not so bad, right? Because you got a ring around, it kind of shows you the timer. So you do technically know when to pop.
I mean, it's LY4, he can be busy at times. Burn!
It's too early for this mess, man. Oh my god. But you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a really nice and interesting lineup from the side of RSG. So without further ado, let us talk about things from the side of RSG. Jason is going to be playing on the side of Barrage. 505 on to Lunox, LY4 on to Soon, Baby Cakes. That will be on to that Thamus and Lossie on to that Kufra that seems to be having a little bit of the issue from the side of Sky that is playing as the Jawhead.
You know what? Jason is playing the mid lane with the Barrage to play the rotation around. Putting aside 505 at the side lane for that farm so that in the mid late game, that Lunox can actually proc off in the mid game.
Yes, I love Lunox on the side lane. I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely crave for the Lunox dominating the side lane.
Right, but I am a bit, concerned about this Harley, right? Look at all the heroes coming alongside for RSG. There isn't any hero. Oh, there'll be a small poke here and there.
I don't think that will be too big of a deal for the side of RSG. They shouldn't be able to get kills here. Almost actually bringing down Bush, but they don't have anyone that can deal the finishing blow because of the fact that Student is not too viable in the early stages of the game when it comes to kills. The only thing that Jason and Lossie can do is small little harassment all over the place.
Poke here and there, but I'm just more concerned that Harley because is there a target for Harley to pick off people though here? You see, you look at that, Lunox with the brightening.
Yeah, correct.
Look at Wukong with the doppelganger, Tamu, Vengeance, and it's gonna be tanky.
Oh yeah, Vengeance! Oh
yeah.
Yikes.
Barrage tanky, Kufra tanky. So who
What are you aiming?
Where your deadly magic is gonna go?
Nowhere. Creeps. Use it on creeps.
I guess he can just use it onto the Sun's illusion.
I guess that's one thing. Objectives as well, I guess. I mean, no, objectives can't. You can't use it on objectives. So, unfortunate.
Alright, so there'll be a little bit of poke from the turtle coming alongside from AMT. This is the first time they actually started this turtle, but it's not going to be enough because RSG is going to come out for a fight.
It doesn't seem like Lossie will be able to come back alive though, because they are just tossing out ultimates after ultimates. But of course, the main important one is Ryzen with the fact that Airstrike that will eventually rain down pains and pillars of hell on top of Lossie. So RSG unfortunately will be the one that will give AMT the first blood, and to make matters worse, Harley takes the turtle.
Yep, and you know what, Harley with that skilling potential is going to be scary even though they are tanky. I believe with the Genius one as well as those magic penetration armor, it's going to still penetrate a bit of damage coming from those tanky and bulky heroes.
Yep.
But at this stage, he's just going to focus on his farm and get all the farming items. But he's not the star.
Yeah.
So you know who's the star? He faster as well as the Chang'e.
I guess one thing that we should be looking at from the side of Harley is the very fact that he shouldn't be looking for a solo kill. He should be looking to roam together with his fellow teammates in order to get kills and use like deadly magic and poker trick as a form of bruising the enemy, right?
Right.
Not particularly like I go in, I expect a kill. It's more like I go in, I expect to help someone or get myself a kill together with my fellow friends.
Right. And I'm thinking about how they are going to handle that soon split push in the later on. Because most likely Lunox is gonna be in the 5-man while Wukong is just, you know what, going to the side lanes and do some split pushing. Look at the lineup from AMT. There isn't any heroes that can really split push.
I have another concern. They have 3 mid-game damage spike from mages. Radiant armor.
Oh my god.
This is going to be hell. Once RSG each one like Barats, Lolsy,
Basically
everyone just pick up Radiant armor. If Q Dicey or Bush is the one that sets up the fight first, it's going to give the stacks of Radiant armor onto everyone, and they don't even have to care about Ryzen anymore.
But is Lapu gonna do a lot of damage though? If everyone goes for the magic defense, Lapu can still deal a lot of damage.
So it's kinda to the point that they go for the Radiant armor first in order to defend against magical poke damage, and then an Athena shield just so that the armor will be able to defend against the Lapu's physical attacks. And thus, that is probably going to be something that will work out for RSG. Great amount of magical defense on that part with the Athena shield, and with the proc of the shield, it helps to defend against Lapu's physical attacks.
I still feel that there will be a little bit poke coming alongside and Kufra is down.
It doesn't seem like
there won't be any engage. They're just going to get that turtle, you know what, split push bottom, that's it.
And you were talking about something along, you stopped somewhere. You tried to say something about...
I was mentioning about that Radiant armor. Even though they are magic...
Baby Cape's got it.
Yep, Baby Cape's got it. Radiant armor is a crucial pick for RSG side, regardless who...
It's almost a core now.
Yeah, maybe apart from Lunox, you know what, Lunox, he will just go for that Winton Chen to dodge the damage. And you know what, if I get those hits, I won't be the one getting those hits, right? Barat, Kufra and Samus will be the one defending for him. So, you know what, the rest get the Radiant armor, get Athena, and afterwards go for the defensive item for Lapu Lapu.
How important, or rather how much of a core item is it for LY4?
LY4 can actually go during the second or third. Yeah, it really depends on how he wants to build up. Most likely he will go for this corrosive side first.
Corrosive, okay.
Yeah, maybe the Demanter sword first, then the Radiant armor. Otherwise, he don't really need that. Oh, so you see what? Look at what we were mentioning about tickling of that Talmud.
You don't even care about that! It is RSG breaking in and trying to go for a reverse sweep on the side of Almighty. And the top lane 3 heroes are all, as you said it, and as you see it, magical damage dealers. They use the meteor shower onto the side of Baby Cakes. They even use deadly magic on the side of Baby Cakes. But look at him. I don't know if whether this is an oversight or not.
More X coming alongside for LY4, so he won't be buying the Demanter sword.
War X and corrosive sides on the LY4 right now.
Yeah, so maybe he'll go for the Radiant armor. And look at Harley, maybe he only has that Genius Wand.
Genius Wand already.
With that goal of 3.3k.
It does help a bit, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a bit of a goal gap coming alongside from between the Sun as well as the Harley. So I would say that Harley requires to get a little bit of ganks and pick-offs here and there with the help of Jawhead first.
Okay, the turtle is just gonna die almost instantaneously. Lolsy did manage to find a connection when it comes to the Tyrant's Revenge. He pushes himself and opens up the map over to the opponent's purple lane, or rather the purple jungle. And Jason with the Deadlander's Welcome immediately takes a kill down on the bush as he follows up with Lolsy with a double Tyrant's Revenge, or rather Tyrant's Rage on the 2 members from the side of AMT. They're immediately just gonna be melted down while 505 comes in from behind with the power of the Chaos Darkening, gets himself one. They're gonna be focusing on Alpha V9 next with a great amount of sustainability, and Q Dicey, the last one available. He doesn't even have the meteor shower, and thus he's gonna have to give away the first tier defense turret so much easily for the side of RSG. It is a 2-for-3 trade, sorry, 2-for-4 trade. And Q Dicey finally gotten himself with the meteor shower, but I don't think that that's gonna help him much at all. Unfortunately, the rest of AMT, they are back home.
Seems like AMT is just going to play the usuals, their textbook plays. They are going to go for those farming abilities and totaling around the base, I mean. And when that happens, it's going to put RSG in a very tough spot. Because all the RSG heroes, they're required to dive in, right? like the Kufra, he's going to jump in. The Barrage is going to flicker in with that Bedona's Welcome. Even the Lunox with the Badana is going to go in. So from AMT side, they're just going to defend and hope that they make a mistake. Ejector someone off towards the turret, let the turret deal more damage, and the rest will be cleaned up by those mages coming alongside from AMT.
25 seconds left to the spawning of the Lord. And that is very likely RSG's Lord, since they did manage to open up the map pretty nicely. Jason has pushed up the mid waves pretty nicely. Lolsey is just taking control of the opponent's purple jungle, no problems whatsoever. And the bottom lane has been pushed out pretty far, with the first tier defense turret taken down as well. So they already have made it past the 50 point. They can take control of the river pretty darn easily. And AMT, they're gonna have to brute force their way through the defenses from the side of RSG. And let's be honest, that's not gonna be easy.
Honestly, AMT don't really need to contest this lot because their heroes can actually clear the wave even when the lot pushes in. Not to mention, this is not even a Luminous lot, so they're not going to go for the contest. But I am a bit worried though, because at this moment, 9 minutes in, 4 towers has already been given. Look at the gold gap, it's 7,000 gold.
Yeah, and the Lord is going to be marching up to the top lane as well. I don't think that they can get the inhibitor turret, but the middle lane and bottom lane almost guaranteed, unless they bring down the second tier right now. And with the enhanced creep, it will help them break into the base a lot easier.
RG is never going to get in the inhib turrets unless they are able to catch someone off right now until when the Lord, reaches to the inhib turrets. Otherwise, there is no pick-offs here, there won't be any fights going along. More like all the outer turrets are going to get cleared.
I'm having a little bit of an issue trying to understand who's got the bigger power spike at this moment in time, AMT, they're losing out on the economy. RSG, they're more scaling off to the late stages of the game, but perhaps 505 will be able to do something, but unfortunately LY4, okay, never mind, that's just a doppelganger. One of the doppelgangers is going to go straight down. Ryzen just going to be unleashing that feathered airstrike. 505 goes down. Alpha V9, he is right in the hearts of the enemies. He's currently being burned down, but it doesn't really quite matter because he does have quite a lot of sustainability right on top of his side. LY4 going down by the hands of Alpha V9. 2 of the members, 3 of the members from the side of RSG is now be taken down. Baby cakes, the next one down. A triple for the size of AMT. Someone call the fire department because that's a total incineration on the side of RSG.
Alpha V9 with the Lapu just killed 3 men. Oh my god. You know what?
Yo,
they buy the radiant armor and look
it's a
at
bait.
this Lapu.
It's a bait.
Ah.
Oh boy. They definitely did not see that coming, neither did we. The Deadness Welcome is just gonna be used up by Jason. They try to burst Jason down as much as they can. They use a feathered airstrike. They use a meteor shower. Nonetheless, it did not work well with Jason.
They only deals half of the damage.
They used everything on him, but it didn't quite work. I think that this is where we really have to watch Lapu, right? Alpha V9
jumps in,
jumped in, didn't land on anyone. The second flick and the jump is where he brought 505. He's still got a massive amount of damage down on the side of Jason as well as Lolsey, and that is the 2 of their frontliners down, leaving LY4 in the heat of the battle against 4 other players alongside of Alpha V9. That damage onto the frontliners by Alpha V9 is what really made LY4 having so much issues when it comes to defending or even backing off.
But this is the lineup of RSG, right? They all clumps up together. So it really puts this Lapu a very good position to land a lot of ultimates as well as those stun CCs. That really gives the Falsa as well as Harley and Jungler some time to dish a little bit of damage due to, the Radiant Armor. All the damage output coming alongside. You know what? This Alpha V9 will be the key factor of whether AMT is going to be bouncing back.
Yeah, it's very much key at this moment in time. And not to forget, LY4's doppelgangers, as well as himself, is going to contribute to a lot of the healing potential that Alpha V9 is able to bring in. And thus, the Black Ice Shield is very important for LY4, and he picked that up almost immediately. He doesn't really have to complete into the Dominance Ice straight away, but he's almost full item list, so why not go for that anyways. 505 should be looking out for the Winter Truncheon if he hasn't just yet. But Necklace of Durance could be the next item that they could look at too.
Yeah, but I'm a bit curious whether if that Demander Sword is really necessary for LI4. There isn't any bulky heroes coming alongside from AMT. Perhaps later on in the future, he may actually wants to change up to Athena's Jewel or even the Immortality for a little bit more tankiness. Since, you know what, the whole team is going for tanky and they want to use the Luminous slot right now to clear and get into the base. You know what, just go tanky and Lucy is getting a little bit poked by that meteor showers, but nothing is going to get away.
Yeah. Okay, actually, right, I was looking at LI4. He got himself the Black Ice Shield, right? Which one do you think is more important? The Dominance Ice, or would you prefer Dominance Ice or Sea Halberd? Defensive or offensive?
Definitely Dominance Ice, because even the illusions of those soon will have that effect of that Dominance Ice. Thus, it is a slightly better item.
Because it's kind of like a passive aura instead of you hit someone and you debuff them.
Right, and so Tamos actually got picked off by the whole team with Meteor Shower, Deadly Magic, Excel, and Spare Air Strike. I'm not sure if they're able to defend this because there isn't any ultimates left.
Yeah, a little bit too much being used on the side of RSG. I'm not too sure. Maybe the AMT will be able to win this one despite the fact that they have 4 ultimates down. Yes, they have Alpha V9. Yes, they can bring down this lot very easily. But their base is completely barren right now. It's a barren wasteland. We're looking at a desert.
Look at Sky, he just ejected that Fasa off. Almost do a spy movement.
We're 15 minutes into the game. RSG has brought the Sahara Desert onto AMT. What can AMT do now?
AMT at this stage, because of their lineup, they don't really have a balance between magic as well as physical. It is really hard for them to chip in those big, massive damage coming alongside for the Fat Air Strike with that Fossa and that Meteor Shower from Chang'e. Look at everyone's item.
Nah, Lofty will die. No.
Lofty will die.
Lofty will die. There is a deadly magic onto him, so unfortunately, that is that. With one of the frontliners from the start,
They don't have
taken down.
welcome.
They don't welcome on the side of Jason. He connected right onto Ryzen, and that is the faster being taken down. We're gonna be looking at Baby Cakes next as he moves down onto Alpha V9. One of the most important players from the side of AMT. They are probably gonna wanting to go for the end right now. Bush with the hat magic.
They're ending.
Right back.
Ending.
But unfortunately, where's the creeps doesn't matter because RSG has managed to get themselves the win against ALMGHTY with a 2-1 scoreline.
Yeah, what a good prediction coming from KZP. You know what? RSG they managed to win 2-1.